Alrighty. Here, let me look if it's going live. Good, awesome. So welcome back, everybody. As I said last time, we be taking a break from just looking at the game we started and looking more at the actual modding side of things. How do you make a mod in Stellaris? Now, there's definitely some stuff we're going to have to talk about, but we have to start somewhere. So, first thing you need to understand is how you make a mod in Stellaris. The very first step you're going to need to do is go to your mods tab, go to the modding tools, go to create a mod. Alright, full name of your mod. We're going to call this Winks Demons. What am I hearing beeping from? Okay, so it's just being weird with its way it displays the lines. Directory. Subdirectory for your mod. No spaces or slashes. Let's call this Demons 2.2. Demons 2.3. Demons. New. That'll work. Species. Create the mod. Alright. So this is where it puts it, as you can see down here. And it's going to be weird. So I have to kind of see if I can Alt-Tab out of it, but still maintain it. So what I've got to do is find a way of actually getting over to my folder, which I've done before. How am I going to show you guys the actual background for this? Can this work? If I bring my mouse across screens and then do Alt-Tab there, will that show on you guys' end? Oh yeah, it will. It's going to be a bit weird, but it's doable. So let's go over to my mods folder, and I swing my mouse around here, and if I click right down here, you'll notice that it's changed. This is a weird little thing you can do with Steam streaming. Is if you're at the host PC and you manage to Alt-Tab out of that, look at my host PC's desktop. Yes, I've managed to do that. In all the madness. Alright. So you can see here in the mods folder is the folder I just created. Crazy, I know. So this is where the contents of it is. You notice I'm actually directly showing my host desktop. And I can then pull up Stellaris from there. I wonder if I can Alt-Tab from there. No, it Alt-Tabs from my base PC. Fair enough. Alright. Said create a mod. Create the file. We've done that. So we're actually technically done in Stellaris. Technically. The rest we have to do out of game. And here's where it's going to get tricky, is how I'm going to show you that. Give me a moment. Because we're dealing with some really crazy shit here. Alright, so I've got my... Let's see, I want to Alt-Tab to shrink this, then using Synergy 2.0, I move my mouse across my desktop over to my new PC, where now that I'm in the new space, I Alt-Tab around again. And... yeah! That will pull up Demons New. And then I go back to my original PC. And you can see Stelaris is there in the background. But yes, you can see the folder is empty now. And it's really weird like this because my monitor is far on the Like, so the way I have my monitor set up is that my third monitor, which is for my host PC, is over here on this side. So normally what I do is I just move my mouse over this way, and it moves over that. But I'm locked into this screen because I'm hosting, and its normal way of going outside would be going over here. But that doesn't work because it's locked in because it's virtual projection and all kinds of weird, crazy shit. But here's the thing we gotta get to. First, let's cover the most basic of stuff here. We want to cover how do you actually update a mod that just has a version change. Now, I know they're working on that, but I'm hoping that I can make it in a more condensed fashion for you. For those of you who just need to update a mod so you don't get that little, this is only supported for, 1.9, this is what you need to do. You're going to have to go into the mod directory. Now, I can do it directly from here, but what you want to do is go into the mods folder. And what you want to do is find the file that's related to the actual mod. And these numbers here, these numbers on the end are the actual ID of the mod from when you open it up in Steam. So if we go over to Stem, and we look here at the properties, I'm not sure if you can see it here. All right, so let's go over to Store Page. So you can see up here, that gives you the idea of the mod, which is useful for just finding like the mod and the workshop stuff. But if you want to find the actual ID of the particular mod, what we're going to go over to now is head over to, where is it? Community Hub. I want to get over to the workshop itself. And what we want to do is find the ID of the particular mod we're updating. So I'm going to go over to My Files, Subscribed Items. And we're going to go look at Twinks Demons, which I think is probably around page 3. You need to know the number of that particular mod. Page 5. I'll know it when I see the picture. On page 2? Might have just literally zoomed right back. Where the heck is it? Animated Sense, Twinks Demon Race, here we go. So we open up Twinks Demon's Race, and what we'll see here at the top is its ID number, 922380722. So what we want to do then is find, you can guess it, 922, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. Come on, let me grab this. Yes, thank you. .722. All right. And you want to open it up with any text editor. It's a .mod file, but just set that to be opened up by any text file. And if we open that up, what we will see, well, this is the updated version that I've done, but really all you need to do is change this line. So that instead of it saying 1.9, it says 2.3.star. Star is a wild card. So that is why I'm going to show you the version that actually exists of my downloads, because it actually, when you're creating a mod, it actually creates a zip file for when you're uploading it to the workshop. So we open that up, and we're going to look at the descriptor file, which is essentially the original version that I modified just so it didn't have the little thing. And you'll see right here, this is the base information about the mod that you want to change. You can see we got Twinks Demon Species, the archive is that, we don't have to worry about that just yet. We got the graphics, spaceships, pictures, remote file, supported file. And this is what I changed here. I changed this because it's actually a species, not a graphics/spaceship. See the pictures de.png. The remote file ID is obviously what we just looked at. And the supported version is what I changed. So if you just need to change the ID, you just have to go find the .mod file in your mods folder. And change that supported version number. That's all you have to do if that's the only thing you want to do. And of course you can change the tags as well if you want to make it a little bit cleaner in your mod view. But those are really the only things you have to do is change those two entries on the mod field if the only thing you want to do is change its compatibility, because you know it's compatible with your version, and you don't like seeing that little red exclamation point. So, if that's all you want, video's over, and you can go on. You don't need to watch the rest of this video, however long it is. You're done at 12 minutes. Okay? For everybody else who wants to know how to actually make a new mod, or in this case, make an improvement on an existing mod, stay tuned. But if all you want to do is get rid of that compatibility warning, you're done. Now, let's move on. Shall we? Alright. So I'm going to go back to downloads. And this is always tricky, because now I've got to Alt-Tab out of my host computer back to my main computer so I can show you the references I'm using that give you all the information on how to mod. Yeah. It's a lot of back and forth. Alright. So we're going to go over to here. Let me pull off this tab here and make it a separate thing. So we're going to go over to this, and this basically tells you what you need to do. Because what we've got to worry about is static code. So you can see here, this handles all of the basic information about your mod, and it's a bunch of various text files, and a bunch of other stuff. That's what you're going to have to put in your new folder that you created. Now, since we're dealing with something, and I have to go back again, since we're dealing with something that you basically take these files here and put them over in your new file, because we're basically keeping it all the same stuff. And actually, we'll say that if we tab over again. Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy, all the back and forth, but I am trying to remotely log into a computer to mod a game because I don't have the game on my host computer. It's a lot of crazy stuff. Alright. But here's a little thing that talks about how to make the pictures. I don't have to make the pictures, so I'm skipping past all that. But basically, yeah, it's called Mac-based, but that doesn't really matter. However you're going to do it with your anime, it's fine. But here's where it talks about creating the mods itself. Okay. So, as you can see, it creates the mod in the mod folder. It says right here. Stelaris uses a series of folders, so they have to set the correct order. If you recall, we had a shortcut to the main Stelaris folder. Whatever that mod added should mimic the structure that Stelaris folders use. In those folders, there will be a whole bunch of text files, folders, and DDS files. So we're starting here. Obviously, ours is Demons New. You should copy the Happy Guys mod into your Happy Guys folder. Rename it descriptor.mod. Now, tab back. Alright. Alright. There it is, Demons New. We want to copy this over to Demons New. And we're going to rename it to Descriptor. DESCRIPTOR. And if we open up Descriptor, what we'll see is species, path, mod, demons new. So, the stuff we all put in, it's the descriptor. And now, all tapping back so I can show you the process. Mercy, mercy me. Alright. So you can see there. It should look like this, common GFX. The common folder creates two folders, graphical culture and species class. Keep the main Stelaris folder and locate the files like graphical culture. You can kind of see basically you're copying the base files from Stelaris and then you're making your edits as necessary there. Now, of course, I've already set things up to make it easier for us. I've already done that work. And I've already, because I've been working on this off camera. So I took these two files, which I actually took from a 2.3 compatible mod, the Kitsune mod, the Catgirl mod, whatever you want to call it. So I copy them into here. And you can see here, if I go over to portraits, this is actually the demon stuff. Open that up. can see that's the demon stuff. Here's the models. Here's the portraits. So here's all of our demons. Let me set up a preview. Alright, because they're all DDS files. That's right, so I can't actually show DDS files on it because I don't have the DDS plugin on this computer. But these are all the files that the mod author Twink made of the actual demon species. So you can kind of see I've got all the graphic stuff in here because that's GFX. We go over to Common and you'll see I've actually taken several of the things in Common from the Kitsune mod. So if we look at the descriptor here, we'll see it's basically the same thing. And actually, just to be consistent, descriptor, Common, replace. Let's see, species name. So this is where we're going to start actually doing new stuff. We're going to call this demon species. Alright, name. Demon, plural. Demons. Home planet. Shadon. Home system. Soul. Name list. That's where things are going to get tricky. Because this one I actually have to look into. I have an entire list of names that I'll composite and put together later. I'm going to have to figure out how I compose my own name list. If it's referring to the human name list, I want to make my own name list. But I believe that's actually relatively easy. So first of all, let's save this. And we've got that done now again. Have to go back to the Stelaris folder. No, that's the wrong one. My iDrive, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common. Where are you, Stelaris? Alright. Common. And what I'm actually looking for is, there we go, name lists. So this is where we're going to be doing all the fun stuff. So first off, I'm just going to go, to make things easier on me, instead of having to name and rename folders, we're now in the Common folder. I'm going to go to Name List. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to select literally everything, with the exception of Human 1. Dang it. Wrong button. Dang it. Control. Select. There we go. Delete. Changing. Now Human 1 to Demon, or DMN 1. Save that. I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to need to be in Stelaris for the moment. Go back to Common. Go back to Species Name. Go back to Demon Species 01. Change Human 1 to Demon 1. Save it. We're pretty much done there. I'll composite the names separately because that's going to be an entire thing all of it itself. So we see here, it kind of gives us everything we need to work with. Generic names, ship class names, army defense names, and you just basically are going to fill this out with your own set of things. And I'll make an entire separate video where I just show you the results of this, because it's going to be a lot of typing and it's going to take up a lot of our time. So let's not do it on camera. Let's try and blitz through this as logistically as we can, because I want to give you guys a primer of creating your own race. Now obviously if you're not creating a new species, you're going to have to copy different source files. And if you want me, if you have an idea for something you want me to show you for doing something like that, let me know, and I'll figure out some idea for a mod that fills that category. But I kind of just want to keep things easy and simple. Alright, so now let's go look at species classes. So we see here, This basically gives us information about the class. And this, this is some information from the original mod, some information I pulled from the Kitsune mod. But basically it shows you things like possible authority, portrait modding, portraits, so on and so forth. Species class must not use machine intelligence. And then we look at the graphical culture, and we'll see, if we look here, this gives us like lights and whatnot. Now I'm actually going to go and Alt-Tab over again to show you that in the mod. Now, if we look here, it's talking about, there's the graphical culture one we were just looking at, and we can see that there's the part where it talks about the actual portraits. And so what we want to look now down is the static code. This is what we were just looking at, the culture. First, we need the culture's species group. So we go into the one I literally just showed you. I'm just showing like ship color, fallback, ship lighting. You're filling in what your culture group and lighting they use. The example they're using is fungoid. You can see the example I used in the other one. Don't misspell anything, and don't add extra spaces when filling in quotes or linked file path code names. Because like with anything with coding, that'll break stuff. Now, classes here, as you can see, this is the one we literally just did. It's talking about all of this fun stuff. The species classification is... Did I actually do that properly? Yeah, Legion. Machine intelligence, portraits, so on and so forth. The species classification is now happy. It would make more sense if I called it haploid, but whatever. The portrait it's using is too happy. If you have multiple creatures, frog, toads, newts, you put them underneath happy 1, happy 2, happy 3, so on and so forth. Graphical contours just leaking back to the last bit of code. So you have all your common folders set up. So know how to add portraits to an already made class by adding a man, bear, pig. I still don't know how to add portraits to an already made class, like adding a man, bear, pig to you myself without replacing the entire thing, unfortunately. That's what the person says. So here's portrait text, which we looked at briefly, and it just kind of showed you where literally all the files are located. And they're supposed to be in the GFX models, as you can see. But that pretty much takes over all of the main code. Now, here's where we're going to get to the end part, uploading mod. If you want a thumbnail picture on Steam, you need to add a picture, thumbnail.pg, to your .mod code. So for my file, I have that. You also need a 1MB file. I'm going to use everything from the Demons mod. Go to Mod Tools again and press the Upload Mod. Track your mod down and upload that. Try not to upload multiple ones. It might get super confusing. Make sure your .mod files are all correct. If there's no error, then you're successful. Updating a pre-existing mod. Just hit Fetch Info after you've created a mod on Steam. The ID number's in. The ID number that we talked about previously should match up with the web address, then upload it again. It should replace the old one on Steam. So, here is basically everything you need to know about making a mod. Now, I don't want to upload it right now. I'll do a separate video for uploading because I want to get all those names consolidated for you guys and show you it with all the names in place. Then we'll upload it. Then we'll test it. This has been basically a 30-minute video on how to make a mod, but I wanted you guys to... Oh, nope, that's for Power Sunday. I kind of wanted you guys to get a feeling of how modding for Stellaris is a little terrifying because there's a bit of code involved. It's not nearly as simple as, say, Skyrim, but it is doable. And it's doable in 30 minutes or less. So, I hope you guys got something out of this. I know it's a little bit unusual. I know it's a little bit unexpected. I know it's a little bit weird. But I wanted you to get an idea of it because I know from my own searching that trying to actively find useful resources on how to mod Stellaris, especially under 2.3, is kind of a pain because the wiki is never updated and the few sources I found were hard to find in the first place. So I thought I'd consolidate everything I found, go through a quick little thing for you. If you have any questions, you know where the comment box is. And I hope you've all had fun. I'll end the stream here, and I'll start up another stream in a few minutes where we actually go and do gameplay. So I hope you guys all had fun, and I'll see you all in the future. Now I've got to actually hit stop stream because everything is so much alt tabbing.